Hello everyone, welcome back to the Welsh Esports League. We're on Season 8 and it's hopefully matching up to be a pretty good day of CS. We've got two best of ones for your viewing pleasure. I'm Jammer, of course, joined by Welshlaad. How are you doing, Welshlaad, since last season?
Thank you, Jammer. I am doing exceptional. Thank you very much. How are you doing, Jammer?
Yeah, all good. Apart from a little bit of carpal tunnel, but what can you do? It's going to keep me out the server, but hopefully watching some games today, it should kind of give me the same sorts of emotions, same sort of feelings as being in the server. Who knows?
Hopefully an doesn't lose your feelings. We all hope that, and your beautiful voice. But we are just getting prepared, just getting everyone in the lobby. Do you have any pre-game predictions, Jammer?
I think the first game's the Goats and the Dragons, right? So, prospectively, it's last season's winners against the Goats, who didn't do too well, but we've kind of had a bit of preamble before the stream and realised that a lot of the teams have switched rounds. So, even though you might recognise the teams, it's not going to be the same players as you saw last season. And so, in respect to your question, I don't really know which way this one's going to go. I know a few of the players on the Goats, so I'm prospectively going to say the Goats are going to win, but really it's up in the air.
Yeah, I honestly think either side can take it, but I do agree with you. I do honestly agree with you with saying that Goats do take this first game. But hopefully it will be a decent game to watch for mine and yours pleasure, and obviously the viewers, but we can just hope. And we really, really wish it is, so we can both have a nice, smooth sail. And so we can enjoy some CS. I mean, what do you think of the new map selection for this season?
I know you talked a little bit about Train coming into the stream, but I'm very much on the same sentiments. I do love a good Train. I like the changes that they've added, and I like that we're getting maps with not the exact same layouts coming back into the map pool. I do wish there were a few more changes to Overpass before they brought it back, because we might end up seeing the exact same thing playing out and it's kind of same old. But I do like the changes generally that we're seeing to CS2, with all the animation changes and all the little things that Valve are adding in the background. It kind of shows they are working on in the game in the background. And so it kind of makes me excited for the future. How about you?
I do agree with everything, but I think you already know what I'm going to say, Valve anti-cheat, but let's just brush that aside. Anyway, I do like the new maps, but I talked about this before this stream was live. I have an absolute burning hatred for Ancient. I don't know why, I just hate the map. Everything is just awful about it. It's too... I'm not going to go on a full-on rant. I'm not about to vent about a CS2 map, but what I am going to vent about is hopefully this will be a good game, and hopefully this will be fun to watch. I just said the same thing twice. I just realized that. Don't mind me.
Hey, look, you're just excited for the season to start, and so am I.
Exactly.
Quick question: do you know what map we're on? Because I don't think we quite caught that coming into this.
To be honest, I don't neither. I think the map bans have either just started or we're getting everyone in the lobby, but one thing we do know, it is Inferno, actually. So what do you think about Inferno?
Yeah, I think it's a staple of the map pool. It's long been held as the best third map, and so if you're only playing a BO1, then I guess it could show for some good gameplay. One of the dangerous elements for me in a game like this is it does kind of lend itself to a lot of saving and a lot of the economy game, because it plays out so slowly. But hopefully we'll see some good tussling across Banana and top mid, get some good util, because this map is really util dependent. But I don't know what to make of this map selection. How about you?
To be honest, I do honestly fully agree with Inferno being the third map. I do personally think it is one of the best maps. And to kick off, we have a nice little knife round.
Indeed. Did we do Knife Watch last season, or was that the season before?
I wasn't in last season, I'm afraid.
Oh, okay. Well, my mistake. We'll do a little bit of Knife Watch, I guess, as we come through. Do you have any preferences for your knife that you're running?
To be honest, I'm a bit of a broke man, but I do like a nice butterfly. What about you?
Oh, Butterfly is a classic. Right now, I think I'm leaning more towards Karambits and Kukris, but yeah, I don't think there's a bad knife, so to speak, compared to times of old where you'd get your kind of lower ranked knives. I do think that a good variety is quite nice to see in these games.
It is very nice to see, but it's not nice for your wallet. But if I gotta be honest, there's one knife I do hate, and there's two actually. Honestly, it is the Shadow Daggers and the Kukri. I'm not a big fan of the Kukri, I'm afraid.
Oh no, a man not after my own heart. Feels bad. Okay, let's hop straight into the game. We've got one kit on the CT side and a nade. It'll be interesting to see where that's used. And we can start off the round. See, there's a pretty decent spread actually.
It is, and I'm surprised there's no absolute whole W banana. But I do think it is going to be it's going to be a CT side push. And Speed gets the first. John does get the refrag on Lewis. And he's just going to try and hold heaven. Bullets taken everywhere. They are going to absolutely flood B. But JKY does get the pick on Lewis after avenging Silly Willy. Oh, that is a brilliant username, I just realized.
Well, 2 versus 2 traded out instantly, and that's a quick round in the end from Jakey. But one thing I want to ask you is, how do you kind of react to that situation when you're going for a B split all the way through CT spawn? What do you do as a CT player then?
You just gotta hope and wish for the best, honestly. I did not expect them to do that first round. Honestly, fair enough, I do respect them for doing that. And it does seem that the two side are going to go for a force buy. We see a nice little replay now of the absolute rush that Jakey does end up getting. And does end up getting 3 frags in the moment as well.
Nice frags in the end. Just a few pistols brought up for the GOATs as we move forwards. And it should be an easy enough round, but doing is a lot harder than saying in these situations. You can see the trades instantly happening in towards apps. It is just 1 kill for the CT side, but that can be enough to sow some elements of doubt, some holes in this attack as they move forward. It is an empty site though, so we'll have to see if they even go for a retake.
I was gonna say, it does appear the GOATs have got the wrong end of the read. But I think Dragons are waiting a bit to get the plant down. But yeah, okay, the plant is down. Speed with the deagle. AK spraying. Lemon does get the kill on Speed. Only a deagle in hand though. The GOATs have went for a save. But Ayas gets Willy on. I love that username. He does kill Willy with the pistol. But Spongy is also 13 health. It's not that good. Does get the pistol. Does get killed in the process. Jade with the spray. You can only pray. Jakey does get the final kill of that round. And Lemon does get 2. And it does end for a decent save for the GOATs as they didn't invest. So I do think this will be one of the most important rounds for Eco.
Yeah, it's first gun round of the game. A few Gills brought up, hence those kills. And a fair bit of utility behind it as well. Nice drop over for another AK, so not as many Gills in the mix. An MP9 on the CT side on Spongy, so they're going to have to try and get some utility out of that in towards Banana. Util trades, and we see a fairly aggressive move from the T side. They do have top Banana control, and so that makes things a little bit easier for the caller.
Just made things easier, and it does appear the Dragons are going to try and push Banana, but that bomb carrier does stay at bottom mid. I think the Dragons are going for a fake. Go to believe in it. Dragons has crept his way to church. Okay. Fair enough, Jakey, but Balls of Steel will not win you the round. But the Dragons are getting refrags, so I do respect that. It does appear they're going for an A push. Goats also had the wrong read again. But I think the plants will go down for Dragons for not a third time, sorry, a second time. And it will be Lemon planting again. Eslet does re-smoke the A-bomb site. It does appear the GOATs are going for a save.
I mean, they're congregating up towards the long side, but the utility is just so strong at locking them off from this area. And Silly Willy will trade onto speed, makes things so much harder in a 4 versus 2. See if they could do anything, but it seems like they're content to just stick around. That Molly is going to cut off the rotations, and Okay, one player makes it past, but Jade is not long for this. We're just Spongy left alive in the CT spawn, and I don't even think they're long for this world. The Silly Willy chases him down. There's a first trade, but there's so many players left behind him. You'll eventually trade out, and Large Lewis will help to cross the line. I do think it was interesting there that the Dragons put so much pressure on towards B that they pull that third rotation over. Large Lewis gets 2 trades, or 2 entries, I should say, in towards the A site, and that just shuts the round down behind all that utility that they throw in towards long. So it looked a bit mad from Jakey pushing through the smoke, but there's some method to the madness, it looks like.
There is some method to the madness, and it does pay off as Dragons do get their 3rd round. We're going into the 4th. And is that Escular with an AWP down mid? Oh, but it does get smoked off. Unfortunate, my friend. Oh, absolute util mayhem down Banana. What did we just watch? But no one's actually holding Banana. We do have Spee in CT. I think he might be CT boost. But another smoke will come out. Oh, what a shot from Spee. Jakey getting absolutely punted to the floor. Silly Willy will stay at Banana behind sandbags as Lemon pushes up mid. Who gets the kill? Is it Nadia? No, is it Nadia? Nadia does check back into Abs. Nadia does get the kill on Lewis, but Lemon gets the refrag upon his fallen soldier. And Goats are going to make it run from library onto A site. But who will make the first connection? Will it be Lemon? It is mollied out. Good shot from Speed, but it does not kill Lemon as it is body shot, and with a scout, Lemon does get the nice headshot kill. Escular just holds down. Nice shot. That is perfect timing. And Jade is at the bottom of mid. I think they might be going for a save. Oh, Escular missed shot. I think Jade is going to go for a save here. Escular holding W. I don't think Escular wants Jade going for a save. I'm not sure. Ooh, missed AWP shot. Oh, Escular. Oh.
And you know what? I wasn't looking at the screen. Don't worry, I missed all those missed shots. It's all good. They win the round anyway, 4-0. That was a pretty ambitious force buy from the Goats. And when they lose that A site, you kind of expect them to save. You know, you even called it a few times, but the players just are so willing to take these fights. They want to try and fight their way back into it, feel like they're fighting for something. It doesn't amount to anything. And now it's in this awkward force buy situation again with 2 MP9s.
I do think the Goats should have saved. I think Jade should have saved the AK, in all honesty. But Spongy! Oh my god, nice pick! The AK is picked up for Spongy. Escular trying to just util dump the molly is amazing shot by Escular. Did you just see that?
Yeah, man. The AWP spams can be so dangerous in these rounds.
Jakey does get the molly on a shore. But Jakey knows someone's there, but he does run back. Oh, this is going to be perfect timing. Oh, no. Jakey shut down. Lewis does get the refrag upon a very vengeful J&K dog. It is a fair, even match. 3-3. What will happen? Nadia is just camping behind default. Nadia pokes her head out with the FAMAS, gets the kill. Lewis gets the refrag upon Lemon. Escular. AWP kill through the smoke upon Spy. I've been calling that Spy the whole time. I just realized it's called Spy. Do you think Jade is going to be as ambitious to go for an A-site retake while they are in Speedway? Do you think?
I mean, they're making their way over to this site. I don't know if it's a warranted suggestion. Large Lewis trying to catch a time in towards Apps. We can, of course, see that Jade's slowly making their way over. Escular holding this angle. Not quite going to connect, but the second will be there. And that'll be a connection. Nice 3k from Escular on the AWP. And that's 5 rounds really quickly put up by the Dragons.
Escular definitely made a comeback for the last round. Ethics, which I don't think they would want me to talk about. So arguably, I'm not. But one thing for certain, they do get their revenge upon last round and do get a nice little 3k. And a bit of a mess just happened by the Dragons just then.
It's just a group hug.
It's a nice team cheerleader, I think. Spongy does push up again, just out of the molly. Oh my god, will they swing? Oh, they do die to the molly, and they will flood Banana. Jade just hanging back. Willy does get the kill on Jade. And the Ghosts are trying to take a retake. JNK will get timed. JNK does not get timed. Willie does get shot down. Spy gets taken down by Lemon. JNK creeping up church. Escula gets the orb shot through the smoke on JNK. That is very nice. Vac, I'm joking. Lewis does push up. Gets the kill on Nadia with just a lone FAMAS. And Silly Willy does get a bit silly and does get a nice MVP. What do you think of that nice 6th round for the Dragons?
Yeah, it's interesting details to note. You know, you saw last round Spongy was able to retain that top banana control that the Goats have just had so much trouble with. They try and go for it again, but the Molly just ticks over and eliminates them from the round, which makes things so much harder for Jade. A lot of pressure on towards the back of the site. And the other factor I think that's largely playing into things is Large Lewis is being such a problem in towards apps, consistently getting these opening frags that it's putting even more pressure on towards the Goats.
I do agree, but Speed does get the kill on Jakey, and Willie is adamant summons in Banana, and so is Spongy. But Spongy does only have a pistol to their name. But Lemon does cruise down mid. Do they see Nadia? I don't think they do. Nadia tucked away. This is perfect timing from J&K. Does get the frag on Lewis. A actual good position for the Goats. 4 versus 3, but it is Escalo with that orb. What will they do? Slow creep through. Will they get the timing? Silly Willy does get the team kill on Lemon. But they also do make up for it with a nice technical 3k, but we don't class it as a 3k. Oh, good kill from Spongy. Escalo with an orb. Versus the AK. Good kill with the Tech 9 1v1 situation. Orb versus... Oh, what a shot from Escula. Take a bow, my friend. Spongy did have the upper advantage on that, making that first advantage against the orb. But Escala says hell no and does absolutely shut down Spongy on that nice 1v2 save. But one thing for the Ghosts, they do have some of their eco back, but if they do lose this round, or if... Well, I do think they should have saved this round as well. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to save one of them. They're able to get rifles across the board. Escala not quite connecting. Having some trouble with these reaction shots, but they've been having good impact regardless. Or is Spongy getting another frag towards Banana? And we saw the Goats, you know, they got Banana control last round. They were able to make something of it into that clutch, and they're trying to replicate it. But Lewis is such a problem in towards apps. You can see Banana is not going to be where we're going. The bomb's running up towards top mid. Lewis calling the troops over, and oh, that's a tricky fight over the box. Not sure if they're aware of the close player and the junk dog. Actually retained control of apps, but his teammates are falling all around him. Only one trade back, and it's a 2 versus 2 in towards the retake.
The Ghosts need to be speedy, but they do also need to take it easy. As Escala is still alive, be afraid. The Goats do walk down Speedway, but Escala is just holding that A-long to library push from Ash. But they do have a guy in apps just waiting for someone to strike. He's now moved to close apps. They're going to push to Ash. What does he go for? Library. What does he go for? Close. Double swing from Jade. Lemon is going to wait patiently. Will it pay off? Do they have a kit? They don't have a kit. The Goats don't have a kit.
Oh no.
And Lemon runs out, and Escala being a bit honest, saying that Lemon does lose these, but that is not the case. As Lemon does, well, I wouldn't say save the round, but he does get the nice cleanup onto the retake from Goats. But that was a bit of a chalked round, considering they didn't buy kits. That would have worked out. But Ghost is not thinking ahead with the currently broken economy, with the currently broken score AO. How do you think this will plan out going into Ghosts being on the T side?
Yeah, it's tricky to say. It kind of feels like they're playing a bit hopeless. You know, they're just forcing every round and trying to get any advantage where they can. But this pressure from so many areas of the map is being so hard to deal with. Nadia holding in towards top mid after Spy gets that opener, and it's a bit of a precarious position. I wouldn't recommend it. Oh, that's a tricky fight, and Silly Willow will trade back. A 4 versus 4 is always going to favour the T side, and Dragons, they're looking to capitalise. Large Lewis, so dependable in the apps control, and this is a tricky round for the Goats now.
If you need one man to hold your apps, Lewis.
Oh,
Kill from Lewis. That is stupendous. Good kill from Escala, having their turn with the AK for once. And Escala does hold W, trying to catch Jade coming through Arch. This is perfect Counter-Strike timing. No! Jade does get the kill on Lewis. Escala realizes that his comrade has fallen. Escala just waiting patiently. Jade doesn't get the read that Escala is just waiting library. Oh my god! Dragons have went for a plant on B. That is an amazing play. And now, do they come through library? Jade will come through library. Oh my god! Escala! The reactions, my friend. It is a 1v3 take. No bullets left on the AK. Just the USPS and a dream. Oh, unlucky Jade. Please pat yourself on the back. Lewis taking MVP. Lemon saying no to that nice 1v3 clutch. Honestly, that is extremely well played from Jade, but that is perfect Counter-Strike timing for you.
yeah, unlucky to only get a dink in that last situation with the USP. A few more bullets in the chamber, and it could have been a clutched up round. You can see another force spy though. Okay, doesn't matter. You know what? They've listened to us. We've transcended into the server. They're only getting some pistols, a few bits of armor, but it's not going to stop the Dragons from taking a lot of control in towards mid, and the usual banana util battle is going on.
Escala getting the first 2 kills of the double-digit round. They will smoke off Boiler, but oh, what a shot from Junk Dog. Jakey getting spongy, but Junk Dog does get the kill. Junk Dog, good shot, my friend. Will they get the ace clutch though? We never know. Lemon with the bomb. Lemon, I do think will go through C. Yep, they are going to go B, but he's not too hesitant crossing mid. I think he knows Junk Dog is just waiting there. What will happen? That's perfect timing from Junk Dog. He just knew it. Jakey does creep up from Arch, does deny Junk Dog's clutch, and does shut down his ego. That was a very, very, very well played round from Junk Dog. That was some fabulous AK work from Junk Dog. But Jakey does creep through Arch. Pritz holds W, says hell no to the clutch, and does get the double-digit round for Dragons. But both sides do seem a bit, mind I say it, broke. This is both a forced fight for both teams. This might be an even match. Who do you reckon is going to win this 11th round?
I've got to give it to the Dragons. They're 10-0 up. They're just pushing up banana with such ambition. And Escala takes one down from top mid, so there's no reinforcements coming through. Nadia will return the favor, and it's a full B split coming through, but it's not going to be a full committal with the bomb. So we'll have to see how the trades figure themselves out. Jakey just maneuvering away around the smoke. It's an awkward fight, but they're able to get one. They know the second is in towards the back of the site, and Silly Willy will give a helping hand. The bomb's coming through, and there you go. The Dragons should be putting another on the board, but Nadia can double up, and that's at least a consolidation frag.
Just realize they have put Nadia in apps. Could recognize Lewis as a main threat, but Nadia will creep through. And oh, I think Nadia will go for the save, which is a good idea considering she does have an orb. Jakey just making sure no one's. Hey, Nadia does go for the save. That is a good shout from the goats, and the Dragons do take the 11th. Oh, the bomb isn't even planted. Oh, never mind. But I do think this round is over and done with. The Dragons do go for the bomb plant B, getting a tiny bit of eco saved. 40 seconds left in the round. Jakey just holding W. Escala saying, "Where's Waldo in chat?" But Nadia will not poke their head out. Nadia is just holding the cross, which I do respect. She really wants to save that orb, and I do respect that. But Lemon also has the orb. Silly Willy and Jakey both with a decent eco, so that will be a full buy from the Dragons. And I do think the goats are gonna have to force buy again, but they have to. It's the last round of the half. They need to force buy. They need to get a round on the board. They don't want this to be utter humiliation and a 13-0 sweep from the Dragons. Oh my god, Lemon doesn't see Nadia. Oh, never mind. That is a nice no-scope upon Lemon. That was the very, very end of the round. Nadia does get a kill on Jakey. arguably their best AKs. Well, this game, I do gotta say. But Escula just being the absolute upper hand that the Dragons have. But that is a save denied from the Dragons. But they do have to force by... They all have util apart from Spee and Nadia, which is a bit bad. But are they going to dump Banana? Yes, they are.
Oh, look at that space taking from Jakey ahead of all of the util, trying to get a frag, but Spongey's just good on the deagle. Silly Willy trades back and more pressure in towards Large Lewis dying in apps. That's a rarity. Jade getting another kill, and suddenly the script has been flipped. Is this the first GOATS round?
I do hope this is the first GOATS round. To put one round on the board. Oh my god, that terrorist is sleeping. But Jade does get on. Lemon does get the kill on Speed, making it a 2v3 in the GOATS' favor. But the bomb is Banana. But the bomb... Oh, I can't speak. But Lemon does think someone is bottom mid, but they are smoked off. I do believe that is Nadia hiding in Banana. I might be wrong. But they're just waiting for first connection. Nadia does get the kill on Lemon. Escula does get the refrag on Lemon. Does get the kill on Nadia. Bomb in hand. 1v2. Escula knows that there's no one on A site. He hopes there's no... And they are right with the fact that no one's on A site. Default will be planted. 40 seconds left. Ghosts have just realized that this round may slip out in their favor, but it still might not. Escala not with their preferred gun of choice. 30 seconds left on the clock. And Junk Dog will go out of Arch, one out of Library. This might be a 3-2-1 swing. Jade, close. Jade patrolling down. Jade is on the A-bomb. Escala does get the first connection, but no bullets have been connected. Jade trying to repeat. Good shot from Jade. And that is a good kill. And a good round for the GOATS. A needed round, preferably. And Jakey getting a bit salty, saying the game's gone. Jade celebrating and Spee celebrating the no 13-0, which I do love. The game is still here and is well alive.
Yeah, I mean, there's one more round to work with than a prospective 12-0. Nice in the end that the GOATS are able to put one on the board. And that'll at least boost morale, like you can see in the game chat. But the reality of the situation is it's 11-1. The Dragons, they should bring this over the line. It's just a matter of when. It's all going to start with this pistol.
Jakey and Lemon do both choosing the Deagles over the USP. But cutting out everything. The GOATS are just when... Oh, Lemon just flashing himself in. Doolies. Lewis does get the first connection. No killer right. Lemon trying to refract. Lemon does get kill upon Junk Dog. Does get down. Lemon. Spongy getting the revenge. Lewis just going on an absolute mad one. It is turned from an absolute bloodfest into a 2v2. Arguably in the GOATS' favor. Nadia does get the shutdown on Escula. Arguably the most important player. Lewis, known to be an absolute demon in apps. Crawling out 14 bullets to your name. Take your time, my friend. You're about to make the play of the round. Good shot on a non-suspected Nadia. Lewis not seeing it properly. Jay does get the kill on Lewis and his second round for the GOATS. Like I said, the round was in the GOATS' favor, but that came down to the wire. I do think if Lewis was aware of that person just waiting close left at the A site, it would have been a nice flourish around for the Dragons, taking it to match point, but that is denied by Jade again.
Yeah, I mean, it all starts from here, baby. 11-11, I'm ready to see it. It starts with one. The GOATS, just a few more to get. And it's a force buy from the Dragons, but yeah. I mean, I've seen them do better with worse. But that's not a good start. Spongy getting a kill. There's an instant trade from Large Lewis, being a menace in apps, and Spongy's not going to be able to capitalize as Escula's supporting from Boiler Room. Jade can trade back, and this is a back and forth affair that is starting to favor the Dragons if they can rotate to the A site in time.
The Dragons are going to rotate to the A side, but Jade does want them to lead on a line. Jade and Spee will creep out. Spee, you just have a Mac 10. You do need to be a bit careful. The bomb carrier, half health, but does have an AK, but does also... Oh, that is a very nice gun, I just realized. That's a beautiful skin. Anyway, don't get distracted, Welshlaad. Jade creep through bottom mid. Jakey just holding the cross onto Banana. This might be a perfect read from the Dragons. This might be a 3-2-1 swing, or do they let the bomb carry? Escula getting a bit impatient, as we just saw in game chat. No. That is perfect timing. Oh, there's no way that just happened. Oh, no. Jakey does for the nade. A perfectly timed nade. Jakey!
No way.
Okay, my friend. Pop off, king. But like I said, it's Mac 10. Does stick to the names Spray and Pray. We'll get the boost. I mean, Junk Dog. Let's get the kill on Silly Willy. Jakey's swapping his preferred gun with a Mac 10. Junk Dog going down to Church. Who gets the first connection? It is Junk Dog. And the Goats do take 3 rounds on a bounce. 11-3. Like I said, if C9 can do it, so can the Goats. Come on, vamos.
Hey man, it's divine providence that unscopes Jakey just as they round the corner. The Goats are able to bring it across the line, and 3 rounds, again, it's not that far off 11. It's just a few more to find. Jakey's going to buy a swag 7 though, and we've seen Apex do some frisky things with it in Banana, and it seems like there's quite a few T's in front of them to get some kills, but straight towards the site, just feeling so much pressure from all this utility, and can they do anything with this shotgun?
Hopefully Banana does get flashed by their own teammates. Jakey trying to avenge Junk Dog with the double. Junk Dog is just ready for trouble. The 2 mollies thrown out Church. The fast plant will occur down Banana. A very nice round for the Goats. But the Dragons are not giving up. They do believe they can retake this with just some lone pistols. That is a good shout. But Spongy just waiting in the smoke, waiting behind Church in coffins. Just waiting for the perfect time. Will they swing? Lewis gets the one up on Junk Dog. Lewis gets the kill on Spongy. This is suddenly a winnable round for the Dragons. Speed getting the kill on Lewis. Lemon shutting down Speed's Rain. Escula with the shot on Jade. This was supposed to be unwinnable. That is a 3v4 retake for the Dragons. And they do get a bit of eco. Do they get the round? Do they get the round? No kit. Escula. Okay, fair enough. That is match point for the Dragons. That was supposed to be unlosable. What happened there? The round just fell through the Goats' hands. It was in the palm of their hands, but it fell all the way down to their knees, and they were not able to succeed. That is match point for the Dragons. Ooh, that rhymed. I just realized. That is match point for the Dragons. Escula having a 2KD. That is absolutely crazy. Take a bow, my friend.
Yeah, man, the Dragons just taking notes from MIBR, and it seems like the Goats are putting on an impression of the Falcons in that situation. Escula with an opening frag. There is a big mid push committing behind this, and both the mid players actually go down. You can see a banana rush is the instant reaction. Going to be heard, but the flash isn't going to do anything. Spongy can communicate that over. The bomb's just holding the line as Junk Dog takes some space, and Large Lewis is being such a menace, but doesn't quite spot the player right below him. And that's an awkward situation. Going to be taken down by his counterpart, and it's a 12-4 scoreline. The Goats are still barely hanging on after losing the previous.
That's why you don't play 4x3, my friend. Anyway, I am very glad you understood the MIBR and Falcons reference. That nice sponge bit of casting, the 3v5 retake. I'm smiling ear to ear knowing that you recognize the reference I made. But that is another round on the for the Goats, but they do need 8 in a row to try and have some chance of winning the game. But Nadia only a good lead in hands, but you do have Junk Dog, to be fair, and that is the man you need to look out for. That is the player that is going to make the game winnable for the Goats, but maybe not for long. Speed does get the shutdown on Jakey. Lewis just waiting. Oh my god, Jade. Okay. Oh, never mind. Lemon will get Jade. Spear will get City Willy. Escula close with the UMP. The nade does hit Junk Dog. Doesn't kill. Oh, that is unheard of. I'm so sorry for that, Lemon. Oh, someone just knifed someone. That is beautiful. Escala staying close with the UMP. Just waiting. No, something's gonna happen. Does get the AK from Junk Dog. Escala, a 1v3. Will they pull it off? Or will Spee finish the round? 2 kills for now. They will try and get Escula. Spongy, first contact. Escula, second contact. No scope from Spee. Oh, Escula, heart racing, heart on the line. But one person you don't want in that scenario is Spee with an orb. Spee does finish the round. Full goes with a nice no scope, nice 3k to even things out. But something that isn't even is the score. But Junk Dog being an absolute menace as they are 21 kills. Fair enough. Do you think Goats do you have a chance of a comeback, Gemma?
I mean, they've already got 5 rounds. What's a couple more? I do want to highlight though, Nadia losing the bombing towards Apps was that first kill. Really threw the round up into the air. And Large Lewis going to be taking out this round. He was the progenitor of the previous contention. So much space actually being taken. Lemon with a scout in towards Boiler is not a warranted position. And a 2 versus 3 is a tough position. But the Dragons, they've made a few of these rounds work. Only one on the CT side so far. Escula's in a good spot though to capitalize off these Apps players.
Escula, no health to the name, does get the shutdown on Jade. Escula, 18 health, that is not something you want. And also a FAMAS, but I do agree with the round being flipped on his head from Nadia, losing the bomb in Apps. Escula, 18 health with a FAMAS, nothing beats Junk Dog. Like I said, I do think Junk Dog is going to be the game changer. Like you said, they are only a couple of rounds away. All it takes is, well, Junk Dog. Sorry, I will stop with the Junk Dog glaze unless you guys want it. But Junk Dog is being an absolute menace.
You should come up with like a jingle, you know, for Junk Dog. You know, some sort of hype song.
I like that. Like, do you know like them and like American like cheerleaders and like the high school games?
Oh yeah.
I feel like we should make one of them for the future with the Goats. I actually love that idea. Do you know what? I'm gonna make one. I'm not gonna tell you when. I will surprise you, but it will be when the Goats are playing next. You've inspired me, Jammer.
All right. I'm here for it. All right, back onto the round. It is a 12-6 scoreline. The Goats have clawed their way back into things, and so they're only 6 rounds away from drawing the scoreline. You can see the Dragons' buy is a bit of a mishmash. John Lemon with an AWP and 10 HP thereabouts. The Goats, they should have a fair amount of space to work with Top Banana and Apps, but it's really just a matter of how they can push and pull with the rotations, how they approach things in towards the late round as we cross the minute mark.
Goats are going for a late banana take, but Dragons do have the disadvantage. Oh, apparently they do. Nadia shutting down John Lemon. Escula getting the kill on Nadia. Spongy killing the one, but does they get the kill on Coffin? No. Spongy will nade Coffin. Jakey is low. Jakey needs to be careful. All we have is an M4A4 and a Dream. This is a winnable round for the Goats. Is a 4v3, but health is not on the Goats side. But Jakey is also on 10, but they are just laying down low. Hopefully they just blow past. Speed has the crutch. Do they get the kill? Speed does get the kill on a low HP. Escula, good double frag for Speed. Jade just knows someone's church. Good kill from Jade. Does get the nice M4A4 to the name as well. Jakey being shut down. Oh wait, did they pick up the AWP? Oh, they picked up the AWP. Nice Speed. I don't know why I'm getting so happy. Nice Speed. You do get a nice bit of eco from that. But John Lemon just getting shut down. This is a winnable comeback from the Goats. What was the score? It was 11-1, no? This is so winnable for the Goats. All you need is passion, aggression, mindset. If you understand the reference, you understand it. But they are going to match down Banana with everything I've just listed. Nadia being penetrated by every single nade thrown, every util. Smoke finally out. Jakey and Nadia both left low by the util. Jump Dog getting the kill on Lewis. Oh, that's just spray and pray. There's no way. Speed does get the kill on City B. Nadia is like a glass cannon. No health, but an absolute compact full player you need. Spongy does get... Oh, That is a shot through the smoke. That is a dink through the smoke by Jakey. Did Jakey just fire one bullet? If so, that is actually amazing. But Jakey, 43 HP, does lock down B site, does actually scare off all attackers. Fair enough, Jakey. Your aura's that huge. Ew, I'm so sorry. Anyway, the Dragons do hope they go A, which is the successful read. I do appreciate that, but I don't appreciate them both being patio. Because even if one of them's seen, they do see the other. Spee knowing, just holding the cross. Spee getting low from all names. This is just util spam. Oh, that is perfect. Good frag from John Lemon. Reverse kill from Junk. I can't speak. Good kill from Junk Dog. Does get the double. Does cause trouble. Jakey patrolling up. Jakey headshot Spongy. Jakey does have a kid, but they do have speed. Jakey wallbang from Spee. Jakey, a sudden burst of absolute just annihilation just happened there, just with the MP9. Imagine what he could have done with more health and an AK. But sadly, Spee is there, and Spee just doesn't care. Just has the orb, just shuts down anyone in sight. And the GOATs are making an amazing comeback. Escala's short reign of the first half has been shut down by an absolute overperforming GOATs.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like the Dragons are taking liberties. Oh, Spee getting tagged down, not able to return the favour with any damage. And the banana fight hasn't even been attempted by the GOATs this time. So full control over towards the Dragons. We'll see what they can do with that. Boost over. And oh, Spee is good for the entry. Now, a lot of top mid pressure is going to be the returning favour of the rest of the GOATs, as they are keen to capitalise off that entry, and Junk Dog's able to return fire on towards John Lemon, and should be an easy enough round as they mosey their way up apps. There's many players to meet them here though. Just one on the site, but Escapula's turning fire on the scout after his teammate on site gets traded out, and this is probably going to just be a GOATs round.
I do think it's a GOATs round, but we did say that last half, and a huge retake happened.
Nah, not happening this time. I don't believe
we can only hope. Spee, Orb and 10 HP, just holding down the top mid push. Doesn't think anyone's going boiler, and that is a shout. I do wish the best, and Dragons will go for a save. That is respectable. That is a 9th round on the board for the GOATs. They are, get ready for this one. They are goated for that comeback. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm here all night, ladies and gents. But Dragons will do the save. But Escala, only a scout. I wonder how that will work. I mean, they did get a kill this round, but I do think they need a soul upgrade. But Spongy and Speed do get killed in the process, but an absolute millionaire Junk Dog. 14,000 to a name. Fair enough. But like I said, and like Jammer, my beautiful caster said, this will be a brilliant comeback if it does occur. But it will have to be an OT fest, an overtime fest, and hopefully guns will be blazing, and hopefully the GOATs do make this magnificent comeback, because it will be one that will be spoken of for the rest of the Welsh Esports League.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be quite the comeback. 9 rounds on the board. Good Molotov damage. Tries to smoke behind him, but Spy is getting entries. The pandemonium towards top banana, and just one player left alive, retreating back to the site. GOATs not keen to pressure the issues. They can now calm the tides, take stock of the situation, regroup, and take one of these sites together. They should have an advantage moving into that situation, but it's really up to the player's decision right now as Junk Dog takes control of apps, and I mean, they won't know it, but they have a lot of space to work with.
Space is something on their hands, but a minute left on the clock. It is just going to be... I do think the GOATs really want to push banana. But I think they're waiting for Junk Dog to clear A, which is good. Junk Dog is clearing pit. But goes back for some reason. This might affect them, which hopefully it doesn't. This might be an action that might actually lose the GOATs the round. But Junk Dog is just clearing mid. He's just adamant that they need to go A. But Jade and Sponge doesn't want to. Never mind. Okay, that is perfect timing. They are going to flow through mid, but there is one waiting Arch. Ooh, the Orber is waiting at, I believe. No, it's not. It is Lewis. Okay, now they will get the read. This is going to be a very fast round. Be aware. Shot from Escula kills the GOAT's winner. But the plant does go down. Lewis does prevent the plant. Good creep from Lewis. A 1v3. What was a comeback is now a dynasty. GG's rollout as Spongy has no time. And the GOATs do sadly not get a comeback. And yeah, sadly, it is not a fantasy.
Well, yeah, it will just remain a fantasy now. The GOATs, they actually put a fight up. They show they have some fight left in them after that devastating first half. Not to be in the end. I think a round out of that game could be encapsulated as just super strong T sides on both sides. I kind of did suspect the Dragons were going to win overall in the end, but we can hope for dream. Just a bit of an awkward situation going in 11-1 as the GOATs. You know, you kind of feel like it's going to happen at any moment, and it just kind of occurs then. Some good, some bad, and some ugly CS, I think, overall. But yeah, an interesting game nonetheless, and it wasn't a complete 30-0 blowout, so that's a bright side, a silver lining, you could say.
They were bragging when they got the first round, when they were 10 rounds down. I believe it was 11-1. They were celebrating the non-13-0. But something they should be celebrating is that absolute, like, what's that word? The absolute, like, courage to actually try it, actually believe in themselves. And it does come to a certain extent as they do get 9 rounds. And that is honestly, you should be proud of yourself. Every single GOATS member should be proud of themselves. But the Dragons do need to be a lot more proud of. They did choke a couple of rounds there, aka about 8. But we live and we learn, and they do finish out the game 13-9. Who is your MVP of that match, do you think, Gemma?
Ooh, tough question. Honestly, I want to give it to Junk Dog just because their contributions, I feel like, really brought the GOATs back into contention. I don't think that I do think that without Junk Dog getting a few of those entries, getting some of those touch rounds, the GOATs would have had a bit less of a standing in the game. But yeah, like we said, not to be the Dragons, they're keeping their crown, so to speak, from last season, as it is the organisation, but not the team, that won the last season. So yeah, it'll be good to see if they're able to continue that momentum moving forward. You know, maybe they'll get a 13-0 at some point in these next few games towards the groups. But I do think we have another match lined up. Let me just double check what it is. I think it's the Wolfhounds Rejects, right? Yeah,
it is the Wolfhound Rejects. And like you said, the Dragons do have their crown from last season, but will they continue running the town? We don't know. You guys are going to have to stay tuned every Wednesday at the same time. That was really nice. I see you smiling. You enjoyed that, didn't you? But that was, like you said, like a learnable CS game. I do think they should analyze them rounds, dissect them. And my MVP is Junk Dog as well. It was going to go to Escula in that first half, but in the second half, there was just a lot less anticipation, not in a rude way. But they do go from like 2 kills a round to 1 kill every 2 rounds. And Junk Dog just absolutely holding W, just going absolutely rampant and just waiting. And that is perfect. And also, I do give props to Lewis just owning apps. And he was the person that made 2 CTs stay apps. And I do think that is something that Lewis should be proud of himself for.
Yeah, absolutely. So 1 game down, we've got another lined up, but we've got a little bit of a break before then, so we're gonna go ahead, take a small break, maybe get a cup of tea, get something to eat, and prepare for this next game. We'll be right back with the Wolfhounds versus the Rejects. Hey guys, welcome back from that short break. We will be moving into the second leg of the best of ones, but first let's round out what happened in leg one. So in the match that we just watched, it was of course the Dragons versus the Goats, which ended up being a Dragons win, but you can see the rest of the results below you. In Group A, you've got the Dragons, the SEA Dragons, the Goats, and SL. In Group B, you got Pit Ponies, Rejects, Pirates, and Wolfhounds. Now, Welshlaad, you told me a little bit about your experience with, I think it was the Pit Ponies, right? Are you a representative for them, or?
I do play Rainbow Six Siege for the Pit Ponies, so there is a bit of bias there. But the Rejects did win their last round, actually, their last game. I believe it was against the Pirates. The Rejects won against the Pirates 13-6. And in Group A, the SE Dragons won 13-1 against SL. And the Pit Ponies did win 13-4 against the Wolfhounds. So both are 1-0. So hopefully this will be a decent game to watch. Who do you take going into Rejects and Wolfhounds?
Based on the results that you just said, it seems like the Rejects should win this one, but yeah, we don't know what the map spread was like, so I think it kind of depends on how these teams want to come out swinging. You know, the Wolfhounds, I think you said they fell in their first map, yeah, 13-4, they lost to the Pit Ponies, so if they're able to kind of bounce back from that and kind of take that loss and use that to fuel them and get some aggressive plays and kind of what was I saying? Yeah, use that loss as fuel to come out swinging, then they could come back into things. But the way things stand, it's probably going to be a Rejects that are the favourites.
I did think it was going to be a Wolfhounds. That was my prediction. And I'm going to put my foot down. I'm going to stand by it. I'm not going to change. I may not change, man. I need to stick to it. But I do see the Rejects maybe coming through and winning this round, considering they did win their last game, and Wolfhounds, like you said, they do need to take their loss as like a one-off, and they do need to try and turn it around, flip it upside down, and try and do their best against the Rejects. They just need like a mind reset.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're back on Inferno. It seems like we never left it in the first place, but there's a switch out of the teams, and we're going to hop straight in towards gameplay. Fair bit of utility bought on both sides, but no kits to see. Apps peek from one of the CT players on the Rejects will give them prior warning, and utility is dished out, but this is not a slowdown at all. Shift is not shifting. They're putting a shift on, getting up towards the apps, but there's a crossfire, and that's some eliminations. Going to slow down and halt this aggression, and return fire, but no entries back from the T side.
The Rejects do get 2 kills on the board, respectively for Ass and Pasty, or Pasty. I think it's Pasty. I just can't English at the minute. But it does seem the Wolfhounds are going to push Banana. Does get the read on CT. Tanner does miss, unfortunately. Daffod getting the kill on MA. Moshi denied plant. Wafy. That's Wifey, I believe. My apologies. Oh, it's Welfy. I thought that was an I. Welfy does get the kill. And okay, that's a handful of a name. I love performance enhancing jokes. Yeah, I agree with that. Let's just call them Love. Love do get the only kill for the Wolfhounds. And hopefully the Wolfhounds take that as a one-off.
Yeah, absolutely. So not quite the hot start that Wolfhounds were looking for. No bomb plant means no force buy, and so these SMGs should clean up and farm up some cash, but it remains yet to be seen whether that will come to fruition. You can see a bit of mid control trying to be attempted from the Wolfhounds as they jump their way into apps, and I think the name of the game in this kind of a situation is try and push up together, see if you can get a few picks, maybe even a cheeky bomb plant, and that should set you up well for these gun rounds moving forward.
Love getting the fizz connection on Pasty, but with a back turn, Love does get killed by Pasty. Pasty with a 3k! Oh, fair enough. Ass getting the kill on Shift. Shift being held and being killed. MA does get the kill to avenge his fallen teammates. But Pasty, I don't know what happened there, but that was nasty. A nice 3 kill with a very reworked MP9. What do you think of the MP9 rework?
I think it's a good spot right now. You know, the nerf was definitely needed, and it's still shown quite heavy use, but you're not quite getting the same. I'm going to be able to kill you with an MP9, which is on the same level as an M4 and an AK in certain situations. You know, it is a bit more weaker, but I think it will just be a matter of time to see where it ends up falling on the kind of tier list of guns.
I agree. I do think that, I mean, I used to love it. I haven't used it, I gotta be honest. I'm more of a Mac 10 kind of man. I'm more of a UMP type of guy. But, yeah, hopefully it does get nerfed because I hate getting killed by them. But it does appear Wolfhounds are just gonna absolutely hold W into this banana push. Mollies come out onto sandbags. And Moshi just clearing out sight. The nade does come out from CT. Welfie left alone on sight. Daffy getting the kill on MA. Wafy popping out to get killed by Moshi. Shift, headshot on Daffy. Bomb down. Church. Someone is a church, but we do not know who it is. Love just waiting coffins. Does fail the jump. Does give a bit of information out. Moshi 11 HP. And arguably the round in their hands.
The retake is on though, and the CT side is making their way over. Rejects have a fair bit of utility that they can dish out and make things a bit easier, but Love with a crucial Molotov will cut things in half. Tanner with the entry, and things are going to converge here, but the trades are all in towards the CT side, and Young Trav getting flashed off the line. That is a successful retake. The bomb time is very low though. I don't know if they're going to get it. Ooh.
Just in time.
Locking it in. 3-0. And the Rejects continue their good form, but that was a really dangerous round.
Tanner absolutely just being a menace to the Wolfhounds. Just pushing through Church. Just very, very well played from Tanner. Only an MP9, which is a shock. Like you said, the nerf was needed. Tanner to get the kill on Moshi. Shift. Hasty getting the kill on Love, and Travi just ending Tanner's reign, and just absolute horror of kills, really. And it does appear it's going to be another banana push, but Rejects have got a bit aware of this and do have one on site. Welsh on site, Daffy dishing out util upon the walkthrough, but Moshi was going to walk through, drops the bomb to Love. Moshi just caught napping. Daffy does get the kill on Moshi, and a banana push is prohibited by the CT hold. More util to try and scare them off, and the Wolfhounds are not attempting banana. They have went back to bottom mid. Do you think they're going to push A? I believe they are. Do you think they're going to push from apps or mid?
It's a interesting question. I'd probably take apps control first. You can see. Interesting note though, the small detail is instead of just throwing out a smoke, Daffy launches in a Molotov to shut down the B site, and the smoke on top of it is what really shuts things down and pushes the Wolfhounds over towards this A site. But with only 2 defenders and only 1 on the site, it is going to be a tall task for us, as we've been calling them. Pit control receded over. ARS caught unawares. Oh, that's an interesting spot to be caught in. Will be able to get 1, gets the second, has a few more to find, but they're not aware of the pit player. Wary of the long wrap, and Wafy rotating in should be able to clear things out and allow them to concentrate their efforts, but there's 2 more players to find and they're quite low.
They are quite low indeed. But as just rushing out, getting the kill on the pit player, 1v1 situation. Welfie does have the kit in hand, does fake the defuse. Shift does not fall for it. Shift backing off. Welfie's gonna have to stick it. Does end up trying to stick it, but Shift is just making that pressure thrive. I honestly do think Welfie should have held it. Oh, he gets away with the AK as well. That is perfectly played, Shift. 10 health remaining. And honestly, they played that round absolutely beautifully. Wolfhounds do get around on the board, and Shit putting in an absolute shift. You get it. Sorry, that was an awful pun. I'm not going to speak for the rest of the night. And
I mean, that's such an instrumental 4K at that situation. To clutch it up with 10 health as well, really good effort to put the first round on for the Wolfhounds. And you can see what it's done to the buy situation for the Rejects.
eyes have been a bit limited as Daffyd with the FAMAS, no helmet neither, just normal Kevlar. Tanner only stuck with an MP9. And Wolfhounds will push mid again. Rejects do have 2 on B, and the correct read from the rejects. This is going to be a nice apps and mid take from Wolfhounds, but Ass is adamant that there's someone in apps, and he's... Oh, that's a really nice angle. And Ass is sure, shift jiggle peeking, making sure no one's in pit, but Ass is adamant. He wants the kill in apps. Oh my god, 3k from Pasty, shutting down all mid operations. Wolfhound's tracking back, the bomb is in mid, that is not a good sign. Daffyd just spraying and praying from library with his FAMAS shift, getting the kill on Tanner. Ass stealing Pasty's arguable ace. Love getting shut down by Ass. Shift still in apps after all this time, but Oz is still, like I said, you'll never believe it, adamant summons in apps, and the first shots come out. Dink warbang from Ass. Gets shift on 11 HP. Daffyd does just hold W. No shift is low. Get the con from his teammate that they're in apps. He's dinked. Says yep. Runs through. Guns blazing. Gets the kill. That was an absolute... I didn't really see what happened from Pasty. I think the Wolfhounds tried rushing top mid from Boiler. And Pasty, just sitting on patio, says hell no. And shows them who the rejects really are. 4-1 to the rejects.
4-1 indeed. The buy situation is not great for the T side, just bounding their way up banana, and you've seen them do it a couple times, this time punish with utility. So many players knocked down low. Shift, luckily with the AK, has not lost too much of their health, but with the rest of his teammates being so low, it's going to be a tough situation, especially with more utility shutting down banana. And that's their one smoke. Oh, sorry, that's one of their last remaining smokes. The second one used, and they're just going to have to commit behind this now. Pushing through the smokes. Daffy D spots them, sprays through with Wealthy, and it's an absolute massacre towards top banana. Just Shift left alive, but not really a hope in this situation. 1 versus 5, and the bomb is lost.
An absolute bloodbath from the rejects. I do think that, honestly, the utility won them the round. Nade has cleared out long corner. The kill from Ass does finish off the rejects. Absolute, honestly, this is why Inferno is seen as a util, like, base map. Because Travi left on 2 HP, MA left on 20, Moshi left extremely low. And now it's just absolute util bliss. Daffyd, of course, getting the kill through smoke, followed by Wealthy. And just, yeah, the util wasn't really in the Wolfhounds' favor, and the rejects do come through and do win the round due to an absolute, well, just bullet rain really from Daffyd and Pasty.
Yeah, absolutely. Gun round again though, so Wolfhounds have an opportunity to come back into things, but Pasty with the aggressions is able to shut down the Apps lurk, and that throws a wrench in the works for the game plan. TT Smoke will force out utility, and Moshi is still so keen to put some pressure down. After the exchanging bullets, but none will connect, and this is an awkward 3 versus 5 for the Wolfhounds. Can they recover this?
I do believe, no, I don't believe. I take back what I said. But the Wolfhounds are stuck on mid stairs. I do think they're going to go through window. I believe they're trying to go through window, but they want to push mid, but no info is seen, and that is a great boost from Tanner, as is seen above the smoke. And I do believe they might go through apps, they might go through stairs, they might go through CT apps, we don't know just yet. But one thing's certain, Travi is going to try and make his way out. It's all about the first connection. Tanner is just in long corner, just waiting for the info. Ass jiggle peeking, just waiting for time to strike. 25 seconds, you need to make a play.
Play to be made. Young Travi, so many angles to watch and not enough time to watch them all. Tanner Closing things out, Pasty really the star of the show again, getting another triple kill, 11-2, such a strong start from them. ARS 8-1 as well, help in hand. It seems like all of the rejects are showing up, and the Wolfhounds have had a rough start to start things out. You saw Shift have that monumental 4K to put the first round on the board, but it seems like it needs the rest of the team to kind of start fighting.
I'm just giggling at what was said in chat. Love said I couldn't see you and I started to open your eyes. But the Wolfhounds do rush through mid. Travi, there, flash, nade out. Pasty does get the kill on Travi. MA running and gunning. Goes Pasty, ass with the 2K, gets shut down MA and Love. Does get the kill long, good kill from Ass, a 3K. And Shift 19 health in the dream. Ass also left on sick. Nade out, Daffyd gets, bit of friendly fire from Ass. But Daffyd does clear up the Wolfhounds' mess. Clear up Ass's mess. And that was a very nice flick onto A-Long from Ass. And the 8th round is the rejects.
Yeah, there's no truer words than Ass shutting down Love in real life. It's going to be the close of that round, and Love is going to buy up an AWP as they force up here. Seems like some frustrations from the Wolfhounds with this buy. A few late AKs brought in, so they'll be able to avoid a lot of this banana utility just by virtue of coming out of spawn so late. Wolfhounds keen to pressure this side of the map still, and I've got to say, you know, I was hoping for a bit more of a structured play from the Wolfhounds, but it does seem like they're just pushing through. Moshi has done this push so many times, but the frustration coming through because they're carrying the bomb this time. They have to commit behind this. Love with the AWP shot. Wafy, a lot of pressure, but the cavalry's coming in. Can they stay alive long enough for it to matter? Shift putting in a shift and young Trav helping out, and this should be a Wolfhounds round, but ARS has something to say. Pushing for a smoke, can't get anything done, and it's just Pasty, the progenitor of so many rounds previous, now a 1 versus 4, and it's probably not going to be on the cards. Starts off well, but instantly traded. Young Travi with a 3K, and that's a second round for the Wolfhounds.
That's the spirit. Wolfhounds may finish what the Goats couldn't do. I believe it was the Goats who were down, I think?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah, they might be able to finish what the Goats couldn't. On the same map as well. Oh, and Travi just wasted a nade?
That's fireworks. Intimidation.
Intimidation is seared across the map. And so is MA, 56 HP from the mollies, from the util in Banana. Another molly out, preventing a fast rush down sandbags. But they will just stay there. They do really want to push, but Daffyd is just holding them down. Open a nade, kills Moshi with a nade. Very well placed. And it does appear Daffyd is going to come onto Coffins. Yeah, he is going to go by Coffins. And Travi's not sure whether to push. And it does appear they still want to go banana after so much blood and so much util used. Shift is just in sandbags. That is actually perfect smoke timing. Daffyd spotted Shift. Does get Shift on the jiggle peak. Travi just wanting to peek, but they will eventually run back into banana. And Pasty does get the kill on MA in mid.
Yeah, kills coming through all around. It seems like the rejects have rejected the Wolfhounds from even entering the conversation. Love and Travi left alive. They might just want to keep hold of these guns because they're not going to be able to get an AWP in towards the next. And it's an awkward situation to go 8-2 down, but you don't really have a chance.
No chance indeed. I do think they're going for a save. And yes, they are. With the Love, with the orb. Young Travi with the AK. A save is needed with not much eco neither. This will be an 8th round for a reject and arguably a very, very good round from Daffyd himself. That was a nice little shift. No, that was a nice jiggles. I can't think of the word. That was a nice jiggle peek kill. There we are on Daffyd. I just couldn't think of the word then. I'm sorry, Jamal. I'm sorry, everyone.
Okay.
But that is an 8th round for the rejects. One more round until a swap. 2, sorry. Daffyd is saying hello in chat for some reason. Oh, because Love said hi. A bit of friendly banter going on here. I'm glad it's not all like terror. I'm glad there's still sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, man. Daffy D putting on a Daffy Duck impression, laughing to the bank with those 4 kills, and they're going to try and replicate the success in that situation. But Nate's traded in towards top mid, and Tanner's not going to overstay their welcome. So the Wolfhounds going for so much banana control. There's a different plan here in place. So you can at least see, you know, the callers trying to mix up things, trying to put some elements of danger around the map and make things complicated for the rejects. But it hasn't worked so far. We'll see if it works in this round. Tanner, so much pressure. Mar right in front of them, but calling for some help from Pasty. Can they get a flash in for this peak? Oh, it's a bait and switch. Oh no, it's not quite baited and it's not quite switched, but the trades come through at least. The bomb's making its way up long, and that's a nice set of kills from Pasty. Just one more left to find. Love is not loving it, and there's going to be no Happy Meals on offer today as Pasty shuts things down. It's all Cornish in the server.
That was perfect, Chama. I love that. No Happy Meals indeed. And a timeout has happened as one person has disconnected from the server. So a bit of a wait here. Okay, let's just pretend Love didn't say that. Anyway, that was a nice set of kills from Pasty, like you just said. A nice little 4K. Just holding down that mid-rush onto A. That mid-rush, yeah, it was a mid-rush, sorry. Just waiting long corner. That was perfect timing from MA. But not so good from the Wolfhounds as they are found 9-2 down. But like I said at the start of the stream, if C9 can do it, so can we.
Yeah, man. Anyone can do it if C9 can do it, right? I have to see. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying well said. But it does appear the Wolfhounds are going to go for a shotgun frenzy. 2 XMs on Travi and Shift respectively. But no eco. Hopefully this plays out in the Wolfhounds' favour, and hopefully they do reignite the comeback and deny. Oh, that is perfect timing from Love. Getting a couple of bullets down Pasty's neck and actually taking none himself.
Yeah, nice timing to catch Pasty with a nade out, and there's a lot of pressure in towards the A site. Lost top mid, and a push for the smoke, but the shotguns come through. Let's go, the Gats are on the server. Pasty able to stay alive with a quick turnaround on Tamashi. A site's lost though, so we're going to be in a retake, and it's seldom had one of those on the A site so far.
Like you said, the gags have came out to play. And it does appear the Wolfhounds have actually, they are going to play a very close man. Just look at that mini-map.
No way.
It's absolutely Travi flashed. That was awful timing. That was a very good flash. Shift getting 2 kills with the XM, but being stopped by Daffy. Running out the smoke. No scope from Love. And I'm in shock. The XMs actually won Wolfhounds the round. I never thought I would say that, but the XMs have won a round.
Yeah, as the famous wise words go, if a round works, it's a good round, and if it doesn't work, it's a bad strat. So double shotguns, you know, that's the strat on these T-side plays. I don't know how the Wolfhounds get away with that situation, but they managed to pull it across the line. 9-3 at the end of the half. Not quite as lopsided as the first, but we'll have to see how it progresses. And it all starts with a pistol.
Well said, all starts with the pistol. And by the way, just remember, the rejects are winning 9-3. And while Whalefeet does get the kill on Moshi, and Ass just staying behind a huge whiff from Ass. That is very unfortunate. And they Travi taking the head off Pasty. Whalefeet shutting down Travi's reign. And the bomb is going to go down for a nice 3v3 session. Top mid being absolutely prohibited by Whalefeet. No more shifting for Shift and Love. Whalefeet says hell no. And MA is just in apps. 19 health, just waiting for a time to strike.
Yeah, tough situation. 1 versus 3 with such low health. You're hoping for an overextension, trying to catch a player off, and it's in fact you that gets caught off in towards the apps. Unfortunate that Ask whiffs, you know. Don't want to be doing that too much, but it ends up not being too consequential in towards the totality of the round. It is going to be the rejects put in on a pistol, and so We move to 10-3. This is a tough situation. You are seeing a semi-force buy with a scout from Ma and a few other bits of utility, but not really a hope in this round otherwise.
I mean, all you can do is pray and just hope for the best. And Wolfhounds, like you have said, have just went for like the most... Oh! Ass getting a kill on Love. And is making sure... Just running down sight. I don't even know how to describe this. They're playing Ring Around the Rosie on Fountain. As shutting down Moshi. And the bomb carrier was in mid fighting a battle, but they're going to run back. The Wolfhounds trying to gain control of Church. Wealthy shuts down Shift, ending his shift. Get it? And another Church frag is going to occur as they just shut down MA with Mac 10s. That was a very fast round.
Yeah, man, it all started with us setting Love on fire, and just like real life, it's going to be the rejects on fire as they move forward with 11 rounds. Such a strong start from them all the way through, and even though it's not quite as lopsided, I want to say without the pistol, the Wolfhounds have much less of a hope coming into things.
Agreed. Rejects with a semi-buy, actually. I do respect that. Oh! Hasty does get the hit onto MA through the smoke, through the fire and the flames. Ass left on 16 health, Wavy on 21, Mac 10s in both. Just a mid push from the rejects. Absolute bloodbath is going to happen as soon as the smokes disappear.
Nice flash through. It does blind the players in towards top mid, but they can't get any of the kills. And it's just Pasty, the star of the show, so many times left alive, Mac 10 in hand and trying to lurk through a smoke. But there's so many players on the other side of things. They slip away for the time being, but it's just a matter of time. Oh no, Shift, clear your corners. They get taken down. There's one more to find. A Pasty might just do it. Oh, not quite. Young Travi calms the tides, but Pasty makes a round of every situation, and it's just mistakes on mistakes from Wolfhounds that end them up in these weird situations.
Well said. 1v3 in Wolfhounds' favour turned into a 1v1. Shift, please check your corners and make sure you haven't got sticky keys on as well. That could have been a decent save from the Wolfhounds, but they are left with not that much money even after winning the round.
Look at this, a banana aggression, so much pressure, and Ma lost their counterpart, has to smoke off the situation, and Daffy D in towards Apps will add to that pressure. Aggression's all over the map, and it's just too much for the Wolfhounds to handle.
It is a bit too much, but like you said, pressure makes diamonds. But no diamonds are going to be made as Ass shuts down Moshi, and it is going to be a fast A plan with Shift and MA remaining at B site. Tanner does get the 1 on Shift, but back's turned as MA does try and creep through Arch. Look at the first connection, barrel seam. Whiff from Pasty, but does end up getting the kill on MA. Match point to the rejects, and a very, very good apps rush, respectively, from Daffy and Ass. That's a very nice apps effort, really. I don't really know how to describe that. That was a very nice, just run and gun, hold W and just pray for the best. And it is match point to the rejects.
Yeah, sometimes all it takes is just good spacing, trades, and just taking the space that is given to you. Awkward situation now again for the Wolfhounds. It's match point against them, so they have to force buy into this. Mid-aggressions, and it's just not worked out at all. No players getting any success, and Shift has such a shift in front of them. 1 versus 5, MP9 in hand. And it's just so many players in front of them. A smoke wall to help, and it's just not going to be a winning situation. Tanner spots Shift out. It's going to be a dinner bell ringing as the D's converge. And there you go. Tanner will lock it in. 13-4 will be the end score line. And not quite as close as the first game, even though the Wolfhounds are able to put on a few more rounds in that first half. doesn't actually transpire to anything in towards the second, and it all started from that second pistol not going in their favour. So commiserations to the Wolfhounds. We did kind of say the rejects were favoured in this, but I didn't expect it to be so one-sided.
Yeah, I agree. With rejects winning their first game and Wolfhounds not, I was still rooting for Wolfhounds, as that was my prediction, but sadly people cannot, I can't speak English. I just lost just because of that last round. It was absolute mayhem. All right, forget what I was gonna go about. Let's talk about that last round. Absolute carnage in mid from the rejects. What do you think happened? What do you think? What made them push mid?
So, as a former IGL, you know, when you're in such a dire situation and your back's against the wall, you want to just throw something out there that is completely out of the box, something that's going to catch your counterparts on the other side off guard. So I can see the method behind the push, but you really need a bit more structure behind the madness, in that you need the utility to back up your players to get them into good positions. You need to be able to kind of trade off each other in these situations when you're pushing second mid. So I can see the method, but it turns out to just be madness in the end by the execution. So a bit unfortunate for the Wolfhounds, but yeah, I can see what they're going for.
Hopefully they do reflect upon this loss and do try and turn it into a win in the next match. But that does mean rejects at 2-0. And this could face... I'm still kind of in shock of the last round, to be honest with you. It was absolute carnage. I would say it was domination from the rejects, but the second half, it was a bit more of the Wolfhounds. The Wolfhounds got more involved. Nice shots came out from both sides. But, who do you think was the best player in that game?
It had to be Pasty, right? You know, the triple K rounds and the multi-frag rounds that they were getting was so impactful, just totaling up these rounds as they went. And you know, you saw in those last few rounds there was a few clutch situations that they almost brought across the line. So yeah, it has to be Pasty for me.
I agree, but I am kind of leaning towards Wealthy as well. Just for the madness with the MP9. You said it needed a nerf, and clearly it might need another one. Just from the absolute domination from Wealthy and Pasty, however you want to pronounce it. But either way, what is confirmed is the rejects are 2-0, and yeah, they won. So, what do you think?
I think we've had a good week of CS. You know, there's 2 best of ones today, and good news for you at home, there's going to be 2 best of ones on next week. Same time, same place. Make sure that you guys are here. Oh, actually, we've got a few extra bits of content. We'll bring up the scoreboard, actually. So we can see what the rest of the group games have turned out with. You can see, actually, the Pit Ponies are 2-0 as well. So Group B looking like it has 2 favourites. On the other side of things, you see a bit more of a mix-up. So the Dragons, they've got a win. The SEA Dragons, a bit of confusion between the 2 teams, have a win, and SL have a win. So Goats, a bit unfortunate not to get anything today, but we'll have to see how things turn out for next week. I do like this group format, seeing how you know, the teams are stacking up against each other. You get a good amount of games where you see many of the teams facing each other, so it's not just single elim, but it's a shame it's just the best of ones. We'll have to see how things transpire moving forward in the season, and yeah, just make sure you guys are keeping up to date with the streams, with all the games. You know, you've seen Welshlaad, you play Rainbow Six. There's plenty of games to get involved with at the Welsh Esports leagues across many different titles, so make sure you guys are staying up to date with what's going on, follow the socials, and just get involved, really. That's what it's all about. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, Welshlaad. Do you want to run us out of the show? Any final words?
My final words are, come on, Pit Ponies. You already knew what was going to happen. And tomorrow we do have Rocket League. It is going to be at the same time, and is also going to be 2 best of ones. So hopefully you guys at home can tune into that. And that is it from me. Thank you very much for casting Jammer. You're an absolute legend. And yeah, this has been the CS2 Welsh Esports League. Thanks for watching.